Roman Reigns' music plays. However, then the gong goes off, which means we had the return of The Undertaker, which I thought was awesome. And he comes out, he does his entrance, does his thing where he turns the lights on, and he has a face-off with Braun Strowman. And they face off for a couple of minutes. But Braun Strowman takes off through the crowd, which I thought was fine. I actually thought though that kind of made Strowman look like a bitch. That he didn't fight Taker, so I would have been fine if he had like went for a clothesline, Taker ducked it, and then like Taker big booted him out of the ring, because then at least Strowman looked like fight him. But the fact that they had Strowman kind of walk off, I thought kind of made him look like a bitch. And then Taker's music plays, and then Roman Reigns comes out, and him and Undertaker have a face off, and Roman Reigns says that Braun called me out, Taker, not you. And he said that this is now his yard, not Taker's anymore. So then Undertaker looks at him. He looks at the WrestleMania sign. They both look, and then Reigns looks at it. And then Undertaker lays out Roman Reigns with a choke slam. Undertaker lays out Roman Reigns with a choke slam and leaves. And I still thought this was good. The question I have though is, why was Taker there to begin with? It didn't really make any sense. Like, he just kind of showed up out of nowhere. It just kind of happened. But I guess you can't really make those assumptions with Taker. But like, you know, it would have made sense if like Reigns had taken out Strowman and then Roman Reigns had come out afterwards. But whatever. I mean, I'd be down for seeing this match between Reigns and Taker at WrestleMania, if it means Roman Reigns is going to turn heel out of it. Because if he doesn't, then why are they doing the match to begin with? Because if Roman Reigns works the match as a babyface, this match will not work. He has to be a heel. So I kind of hope that's where they're going. So I'm going to kind of wait and see where this goes. I personally wanted to see Taker versus Cena at WrestleMania, because that's a big matchup right there. And the fact that they're going to have Roman Reigns face him, it's kind of stupid. But I'm going to wait and see where this goes. But yeah, I actually thought all this was good. The Samoa Joe, Chris Jericho stuff I liked, and the main event segment I thought was okay. So I actually liked this stuff. So overall, I actually thought Raw was actually a pretty good show. It actually was almost a great show, but then we had some stuff in the middle I didn't care for. Like, I thought Raw had a great start with the Jericho and Owens promo, and then the match with Owens and Zay. I thought we lived with the Cruiserweight match. The Cruiserweight title match was probably the match of the night. I thought that was great. And then Austin Aries attacking Neville was cool. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar's promo was fine. The tag title match, the Raw Tag Team Championship match, I thought was kind of crap. The Cruiserweight match between Akira Tozawa and Arya Daivari was okay. That was kind of filler, though. The tag team match with the New Day was pretty much filler. Waste of time. The Celebrated Woman one thing I liked, and the Hall of Fame video package I liked. The women's I thought was a mess, but the match between Bayley and Charlotte was fine. I just kind of don't really like the direction it's going. The rehabilitation of Seth Rollins I liked, and Triple H's little interview I liked. Jericho and Joe had a solid match, and the main event segment was good. Just don't really like where it's going. So overall, if I had to grade Raw, see, the thing is I liked Raw as a show. I just don't like where they're going for Raw. Like, I don't like the I like the Goldberg and Brock Lesnar segment was fine, but I don't like that it's gonna be that the match is for the WWE Universal Championship. I did like the Kevin Owens Chris Jericho segment, and it makes sense, but that match should be for the Universal Championship. I'm not gonna trash the feud though, and it actually does make sense. And it is gonna make the United States Championship look prestigious, that it's gonna be thought of in this type of feud, but it deserved to be for that match deserved to be for the Universal title. I kind of like where they're going with the tag team division. How they executed it wasn't the best. You know, the fact that they're gonna have Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Like I said, I'm kind of gonna wait and see if it leads to Roman Reigns turning heel. Cool. If it doesn't, then I don't know where the hell it's going. And so yeah, if I had to grade Raw, I'll grade it a 7 out of 10, because I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great, but I thought Raw was good. And I thought it was good. You know, I don't think it was a Raw. It definitely doesn't excite me to want to watch WrestleMania, but I thought it was good. It was okay. It was good. So 7 out of 10 for Raw. Okay, so now on to WWE Smackdown for March 7th, 2017. Um, it's actually not even coming on at the moment. It's actually coming on at 8 o'clock and it's 4:33. But I figured I'd do the preview because it's up. And it's up in the air whether or not I'm going to be able to watch it because I may have to study or something. So I'm just going to read the preview now. So let's talk about SmackDown. So the first article I'm reading is called Randy Orton to battle AJ Styles tonight to determine Bray Wyatt's #1 contender at WrestleMania. Let me read it and then I'll give my thoughts on it. The whirlwind struggle to determine WWE Champion Bray Wyatt's #1 contender at WrestleMania will reach new heights tonight on SmackDown Live when Randy Orton battles AJ Styles one-on-one. For a brief moment last Tuesday, it seemed as if the ongoing controversy surrounding the WWE title had finally been settled. Styles overcame Luke Harper in an extremely hard-fought match and seemingly established himself as the new face of Fear's Show of Shows challenger. But that assumption literally went up in smoke when 2017 Royal Rumble match winner Randy Orton, who had previously stated that he would not challenge Wyatt as long as he was the master and Orton the servant, suddenly declared that he was coming for the WWE title at the Showcase of the Immortals before burning down the Wyatt family compound to the ground. But who ultimately has the right to challenge Bray Wyatt? The superstar who won the Royal Rumble match or the superstar who won the honor after Orton refused it? To answer that question, Commissioner Shane McMahon and General Manager Daniel Bryan reviewed all that happened this past week and have determined the Viper and the face that runs the place must go head-to-head tonight at 8/7 Central on USA Network to finally establish who will take on the new face of Fear on the grandest stage of them all. I actually kind of can't wait to see this match because Randy Orton and AJ Styles has always been a dream match I wanted to see. I would have preferred it maybe at like a SummerSlam or like, even a WrestleMania or a Survivor Series, but I'm glad we're getting it at least. I just kind of wish we could have gotten it at a bigger show. And it's going to be interesting. I'm obviously just going to say that Randy Orton's probably going to win because that's where the storyline is. If AJ Styles wins, it kind of won't make any sense. But we'll have to wait and see because we thought Luke Harper was winning last week and it didn't happen. So, alright, so the next article is called John Cena and Nikki Bella. Sorry, let me say that again. John Cena and Nikki Bella set to team up for the first time against Carmella and James Ellsworth. I can't believe I'm about to say this stuff. John Cena and Nikki Bella will team up in ring for the first time on SmackDown Live tonight when they face off against Carmella and James Ellsworth. The two pairs arrived at a point of conflict backstage last week when the Princess of Staten Island and Ellsworth interrupted the couple as they talked about their recent issues with The Miz and Maurice, and the C Nation leader and the fearless Nikki had no patience for the FABULOUS tandem's blatant disrespect and challenged them to a mixed tag team match next week. What will it look like when Cena and Nikki team up for a historic first time in a WWE win? And will Carmella and Ellsworth have any answers for them? Find out tonight on SmackDown Live. I'm just gonna say this: I expect that match to be a squash. If that match is gonna be a squash, and Cena's gonna hopefully bury James Ellsworth, but we're gonna have to wait and see. The next one is called Who will challenge Dean Ambrose, Alexa Bliss, and American Alpha at WrestleMania? While it looks as if WWE Champion Bray Wyatt's WrestleMania opponent may finally be decided tonight on SmackDown Live, the #1 contenders for the Intercontinental, SmackDown Women's, and SmackDown Tag Team titles at the Showcase of the Immortals are still very much up for grabs. While there was no denying that Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose has drawn the eerie of Baron Corbin in recent weeks, there was no guarantee that any conflict between them will take place in an organized title match. When you consider the volatile nature of both the Lunatic Fringe and the Lone Wolf, chances are as good that they will end up clashing in an unsanctioned brawl in some dark corner of the arena. Moreover, Baron Corbin is not only the potential challenger to Ambrose's title. Certainly, whoever loses this week between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt could end up looking to overtake Ambrose. Not to mention past adversaries like The Miz or Dolph Ziggler. Continuing. As far as two-time SmackDown Women's Champion Alexa Bliss is concerned, anything is possible. Becky Lynch continues to stand toe-to-toe with the Wicked Witch of WWE. In addition, after some questionable statements last week from Natalya, there was a strong possibility that the Queen of Heartless may also be gunning for a title opportunity. When it comes down to it, in a time where the women's division is arguably stronger than it ever has been, any of Team Blue's female competitors could step up to try and take Alexa's place on top of the mountain. And then continuing, final paragraph. SmackDown Tag Team Champions American Alpha are definitely ready, willing, and able to take on all comers, while the Usos have their sights on the long-standing foes. With only 4 SmackDown Lives left before WWE steps onto the grandest stage of them all, you never know who will challenge Chad Gable and Jason Jordan, or if American Alpha will even have the titles when the time comes. So I guess that's interesting. But yeah, it's all speculation. We obviously know that it's going to be Ambrose versus Corbin for the Intercontinental title at Mania. For Alexa Bliss, it's up in the air. Could be something with Becky Lynch. Could be Natalya. Could be a 4-way. I don't know. And obviously, it looks like that it's going to be American Alpha versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which I'd be down with. So that's what my thoughts were there. Last article. Who will throw their hat in the ring for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? With so many title pictures still uncertain for the show of shows, one must not forget that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is also ready to turn WrestleMania upside down. Considering that the road to WrestleMania is an opportunity for superstars to attempt to propel themselves into main event status, who will be the first SmackDown Live superstar to enter the colossal contest? Don't miss SmackDown Live tonight at 8, 7 Central on USA Network. I don't really know who would, if they're even going to announce anyone to go into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We're going to have to wait and see. But I'm really not sure. I mean, maybe Dolph Ziggler, because I don't even know what match he's going to have at WrestleMania. It's going to be pretty sad if, after everything he did for SmackDown, having those great matches, he's going to be shafted into this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I mean, let's be honest. This thing don't mean shit. Cesaro won it a couple of 3 years ago now, and got nothing out of it. And then the most recent one, Baron Corbin, he won it last year. You could technically say that he benefited, but he really didn't benefit short term. It took time. He went into a random feud with Dolph Ziggler, so in a sense, this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal really doesn't mean much, but we're going to have to wait and see. But that's my preview of SmackDown. I'm kind of looking forward to SmackDown because sometimes actually SmackDown can trick you sometimes. Because this show actually doesn't look that bad. I'm also looking forward to seeing it because of the fallout from last week's SmackDown. So let's see if SmackDown's going to be a good show, because SmackDown usually delivers when it comes to television. So we're going to have to wait and see. But I will be back after SmackDown to review SmackDown itself. Okay, so now on to the actual show itself. I apologize for getting this up so late. My sister ended up calling me while I was actually watching the show live to sign out of the Netflix account, and it took a while to get signed out of it, so I ended up missing like the entire show. So I just said, hey, screw it, I'm going to watch it tomorrow. And today I just been studying for my midterms on Friday. So today I'm going to pretty much stay up till like 2 in the morning, so that way I can get all the wrestling shows out of my system, so I can study for my finals, for my midterms tomorrow. So let me talk about SmackDown for this week. I thought SmackDown was an okay show. So far, anyways, until I've seen Talking Smack. The main event was really the only reason you really needed to watch SmackDown, though. So let me actually talk about SmackDown. So we had the commentary team of Tom Phillips, JBL, Mo Manalo, and David Otunga. Why Tom Phillips hasn't been fired, I don't know. The guy literally sent a photo saying he was gonna fuckface someone, and then he was getting a self interaction to a woman, and he's already engaged, and yet he's still hired with the company. That just shows that his head is just so far up Vince McMahon's ass. It's just ridiculous. It pisses me off too hearing him on commentary all the time. Like, this guy needs to be fired. Like, it's just ridiculous. The commentary team on SmackDown is just really weird too. Because I was thinking about this while I was watching this show. JBL is okay. I definitely think he's gotten better since 2015. He was just god brutally bad, but now I think he's actually gotten better, and he's actually being the commentator that he's supposed to be. David Otunga has gotten better, but it really hasn't gotten much better. I would prefer not to hear him on commentary at all, but he is better. Mo Manalo is great as always. I definitely feel like they've kind of WWE'd him a little bit, but whatever. It would help too. I'm going to crap on him for this, as Mo Manalo could learn the name of pay-per-views, the name of the wrestlers, because he always constantly messes that up. It's just, like tonight he called Kurt Hawkins Chad Hawkins. Like, he's a great commentator. He's a great play-by-play guy, but if he needs to learn, he needs to start messing up the names of the commentators. He does this. He commentates every week for the same wrestlers, and he can't learn the name. He can't, like, I understand people fuck up, but he messes up the names repeatedly. So that's something that kind of needs to stop. I'm not crapping on him. I'm not trying to, think I'm a hater for him, but you gotta admit, he kind of deserves to be crapped on for that. Alright, so we had the first segment of the show. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan come out to cut a promo, and this promo really was not needed to be seen. It was pretty much a waste of time. So Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon pretty much say that they're in a struggle to find out who the number one contenders should be for the WWE Championship, since Randy Orton burned down the Wyatt family compound and announced that he's going to be going after Bray Wyatt for the title, and AJ Styles won the number one contenders match last week, and Daniel Bryan's actually fighting for Randy Orton to be in the match because Randy Orton had won the Royal Rumble, and he deserves to be in the match. But Shane McMahon says, well, yeah, but Randy Orton gave up his shot, and we had to have these battle royals and everything, and AJ Styles rightfully won. Now, I obviously know they're building to AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania, so wouldn't it make more sense to have Shane McMahon, be the one to not want AJ Styles to have that shot? I mean, Shane McMahon's actually the one fighting for Orton to get that shot, and Daniel Bryan fights for AJ Styles. I'm just saying, and it actually would make sense. AJ Styles can talk about how AJ Styles fought through a bunch of hoops just like I did when I became WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That would have made sense. They'll obviously, because you can kind of tell are trying to go in that direction. So why are they having Shane McMahon say that he wants AJ Styles to be in the match? I personally just don't think it makes any sense. And quite frankly, too, if Shane McMahon, who's the commissioner of now, my understanding is the commissioner overrules the general manager. So, I know it's tough to say this logically, but that it's reality. So if Shane McMahon wants AJ Styles to face Bray Wyatt, Daniel Bryan should mean nothing. I'm just saying, like, Daniel Bryan's the general manager. He even said that Shane McMahon has more power than he does. He's gone on Talking Smack and said that before. So technically, doesn't that mean that he has no say? He could technically say that he wants John Cena fighting for the belt at WrestleMania, and if Shane McMahon wanted Kalisto fighting for the belt, then Shane McMahon can have Kalisto fighting for the championship. It makes no sense. I mean, Shane McMahon could literally say that, hey, I'm going to put myself on the title match. You don't like it, then big, whatever. So I didn't really think that, but they even tried to tease it, saying, see, we even do have disagreements. So they announced tonight that it's going to be AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Winner faces Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, and we're going to finally have a main event. Now, this segment was a waste of time, mainly because this was just kind of stuff we already knew. They were just kind of rehashing everything that happened. And we only knew this match was happening because they announced it on their website. So this segment was a waste of time. So then afterwards, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are backstage, and AJ Styles comes up and says, "It's nice to see that your cell phones work, because I've been trying to call you all week to try to sort out this whole controversy." And he says that he should be the one fighting for the title, but he says that tonight, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, and Shane McMahon aren't going to stop him from main event in WrestleMania against Bray Wyatt. And then Shane McMahon's like, well, that went well. And Shane McMahon and AJ Styles is very pissed off about this, so I liked it. It was okay. Then we had the first match of the night. It was a mixed tag team match. James Ellsworth and Carmella versus John Cena and Nikki Bella. James Ellsworth cut a promo talking about how he was the pretty much saying that he's better than Cena because he beat AJ Styles 3 times. The first time he was on Smackdown, and it took Cena a while to beat AJ Styles, even though James Ellsworth didn't do shit to beat AJ Styles. And that was about it. And before the match starts, The Miz and Maurice come out, and they distract Nikki Bella, so Carmella super kicks her in the face, which before the match starts, and then the match actually happens. The Miz and Maurice were doing guest commentary for this match, and actually I thought The Miz was saying some great stuff on commentary. He was talking about how John Cena and Nikki Bella's relationships are fake. John Cena's just using Nikki Bella's relationship to kind of show that he has a heart. It was actually pretty good stuff. This match though was exactly what I said it was going to be. It was a squash. John Cena gets tagged in, so James Ellsworth has to come into the match, and he doesn't want to face Cena. Carmella urges him to face Cena, so he tries to kick Cena, but Cena catches his leg, and he pretty much hits his 5 moves of doom on him, and then Cena hits the AA on James Ellsworth, and Nikki Bella hits the Rack Attack 2.0 at the same time, and then Cena and Nikki both get the STF in on both people, and James Ellsworth taps out, so Cena and Nikki win, and I can't believe they both did the STF, and neither one of them can do it properly. I think Cena actually does it better, and I thought Cena's STF was bad. Nikki Bella's STF is atrocious. And afterwards, after Cena and Nikki are celebrating and hugging and everything, The Miz and Maurice pull Cena and Nikki out. Miz throws Cena into the steps, and Maurice, I don't even know what she was trying to do, but eventually she just throws Nikki into the back first into the steel post, and they're just done. Like, Super Cena got taken out by being thrown into the steps. But Brock Lesnar a couple of years ago can beat the crap out of him, make him bloody, and then he can come back and win after 1 AA. Like, Super Cena got taken out by being thrown into the steps. Wow. But afterwards, The Miz gets on the mic, and he says that pretty much that John Cena is using Nikki Bella. Pretty much he says that John Cena and Nikki Bella's relationship is a fake relationship. He just forced Nikki Bella to sign a contract to state that they were in a relationship, and he finds it odd, and he finds it disgusting because there are people out there that are in real relationships like me and Maurice, and like other people, and he says that he finds it funny that the second that him and Maurice became public about their relationship, Cena and Nikki became public about theirs, and he says that he's not going to allow it anymore, and he's going to take out Cena. I thought Miz cut a great promo, and afterwards he said that he loves Maurice, and it was great. But I don't like where this is going. This is obviously leading to some lame mixed tag match at WrestleMania, and it's pretty lame. I don't know why they're doing this match. I definitely feel like this is definitely something that Cena and Nikki want to do. Like, in a sense, like, it's weird because I think Nikki wants to team up with Cena, but it's like, why? Like, it's so, like, think about it. Now, I'm not a Cena fan at all, by any stretch of the imagination, but John Cena, the face of the WWE, I shouldn't say, actually, by the way, I'm not a fan of Cena, but I'm not, I like Cena, but, I'm like a huge fan of Cena, but John Cena, the face of the WWE, is in a throwaway match at WrestleMania. He's in this lame-ass mixed tag team match at WrestleMania. That's a problem. If your face of the company isn't even in a featured match at WrestleMania, what the fuck? Like, I know technically the match hasn't been announced yet, but that's where it's going. And it's dumb. I mean, Cena's pretty much going to be in the piss break of WrestleMania. I mean, you had the chance finally to do John Cena versus The Undertaker. Cena with the WWE Championship. Undertaker, was in the Royal Rumble match, and they didn't do it. You had Cena win the title, Orton win the Rumble. You could have done Cena and Orton at WrestleMania, and I wouldn't have liked that match, but at least it was a featured match at WrestleMania. But yet you're doing fucking Cena and Nikki versus The Miz and Maurice. That's dumb, and that's just a waste of resources and a waste of time. It's just stupid. This segment was dumb, and I hated it. And then afterwards, Randy Orton gets interviewed, and he says that tonight, if he was willing to burn down the Wyatt family compound, imagine what he's willing to do to AJ Styles to become the WWE champion at WrestleMania. And then he says to run. It's kind of weird, because that's like very Wyatt family-ish to say, so I thought that was kind of weird, but whatever. Then afterwards, Kurt Hawkins cuts a promo, and he wants to fight Dean Ambrose since he took him out last week, and he says that you shouldn't start a fight that you shouldn't finish because you're going to have to fight the facts, which I actually thought was a good line. And he calls out Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose comes out, and he just immediately takes them on with a clothesline. He calls out Baron Corbin. He says that he may be the lone wolf, but he wants him to come out here and fight him. Baron Corbin pops up on the screen and said that he's not going to come out there on Dean Ambrose's terms. He's going to come out there and fight him on his terms. And he said that he's going to take everything away from Dean Ambrose, including his Intercontinental Championship. So Dean Ambrose says that if he's not going to come to him, he's going to go to Baron Corbin, which I actually like that he said that. So this kind of leads to a bunch of events later on in the night where Dean Ambrose is trying to find Baron Corbin. And eventually you see Baron Corbin, and he's holding like a guy hostage behind him, and he throws him into Ambrose. Ambrose kind of catches him, and Corbin attacks him from behind with a lead pipe and beats the crap out of him, hits him across the back with it, and then Corbin goes to leave, and Ambrose says, "Good talk." So then Corbin beats him up some more, and he throws him by a forklift, and he actually drops the forklift on Ambrose and crushes him with it, and then that was it. And then eventually referees try to pull Corbin off. They get the forklift off to him. And I actually thought this was great. This was a good backstage segment. It made Baron Corbin look like a badass heel. And you had, Dean Ambrose look like a babyface. And I definitely think they're going to do a no-holds-barred match for the Intercontinental Championship. And I'd be all for that. I hear that they want to put Dean Ambrose on the pre-show. I personally don't want to see that. I mean, Dean Ambrose just went from fighting Brock Lesnar a year ago in a no-holds-barred match, and now he's going to be fighting on the pre-show. No. Do Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, no-holds-barred match, IC title, and I'd be fine with that. This match, I'm actually liking this feud between Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose. It's actually been a pretty enjoyable feud. So then Mojo Rawley gets interviewed, and he says that he talks about how every superstar fights for the WrestleMania moment. And he talks about last year when Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. He was happy to be there for Zack, but he wants to make his own WrestleMania moment. So he's announcing himself as the first participant in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And then Dolph Ziggler comes up, and he says that you don't just get WrestleMania moments right away. You have to fight for them. And then then Mojo Rawley says, "Is that why you don't have a WrestleMania moment?" And then Ziggler says, "You better watch yourself, kid." And then that was about it. I thought it was alright. Like I said, I still don't like heel Dolph Ziggler. It sucks. I mean, he's just been a poor heel. And I guess it looks like they're going to do a Mojo Rawley Dolph Ziggler feud, which I will not be interested in. And then we had the Bliss Blissrotation. I actually did like this segment. So Alexa Bliss and Mickie James come out, and Alexa Bliss talks about, how she wants to celebrate her being the greatest superstar on SmackDown Live. She is a two-time SmackDown. She's the first ever two-time SmackDown Women's Champion, and she says that she's going to announce who a WrestleMania opponent's going to be, and it's not going to be Naomi because her knee blows, which I thought was a good line. It's not going to be Nikki Bella because she's too busy getting checked out by her handsome boyfriend. It's not going to be Carmella because she's too busy fraternizing with her no-chin boyfriend. It's not going to be Chucky, which is Becky Lynch, because every time I knock Becky Lynch down, whether it's through a table, whether it's in a steel cage, she continuously comes back. She's literally like the Chucky doll, which I thought was a good line. So then Becky Lynch comes out, and Becky Lynch says that she should have a SmackDown Women's Championship match because, she wants to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Natalya comes out and says that she should have a SmackDown Women's title match because they kind of agreed to it. And then Alexa was like, "You must be delusional. You must have breathed in so much catnip. We never agreed on that because you're the worst there was, worst there is, and the worst there ever will be," which was a great line. And then Mickie James says, "I believe Alexa Bliss was about to announce that I'm going to be the one facing her for the SmackDown Women's title." And then Alexa Bliss says, "I wasn't going to announce that." And it's like, "You weren't? But we had a deal." And then Becky Lynch says that it's a bunch of bull crap because I beat you twice last week. So then Daniel Bryan comes out and says, we actually failed you on your segment because, it was just boring. But then you said that you're the greatest SmackDown Women's Wrestler of all time. Well, let's put that to the test. Let's have you defend your title against every available SmackDown Live competitor. So Alexa Bliss like, "That's not fair. You can't do that. You don't have the right." And then he says, "I'm the SmackDown general manager and I make the matches and I have the right." So then he makes a tag team match, Becky Lynch and Natalya versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, which I was fine with. And I actually liked this segment. I thought it was actually a pretty good segment. The question I have, though, is what exactly does it mean? Because if you go on the line to the WrestleMania code, actually I have to find it. It says that the match at WrestleMania is Alexa Bliss versus all available SmackDown Women competitors in a TBA match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. So I don't know if it's going to be a gauntlet match, if it's going to be like a fatal four-way match, if it's going to be a regular match. So an idea I'm throwing out there in this match I'd be all down for is a ladder match. They usually like to do the ladder match at WrestleMania. I was thinking maybe do it with the cruiserweights, which you still could do that. But, you already kind of have a built-in cruiserweight title match between Neville and Austin Aries. You don't need to do the ladder match for the cruiserweight. You already have a match that has story, that has purpose. The SmackDown, the having the SmackDown Women's title be defended in the ladder match, Alexa Bliss has done enough, as a champion. Mickie James is a really good wrestler. You have Becky Lynch. You got Natalya. You want to throw who else am I thinking of? If Naomi's ready to wrestle, bring her back. She can do some athletic stuff in there. And then you can bring back any other women's wrestler you want, I guess. It would be something interesting. The only problem is, though, is then you have somebody like Carmella who can't really work. Let's just say they brought back Eva Marie. That would be brutal. Tamina Snuka, So it's kind of tough, and I feel like it would be kind of a schmoz. It'd be kind of a clusterfuck, but you never know. This match itself is going to be a clusterfuck. I mean, this is a big schmoz with the SmackDown Women's title on the line. It makes sense, I guess, that you have Alexa Bliss say that, but they just kind of feel like they just kind of threw these women to get through the SmackDown roster together for the SmackDown Women's title, and there you go. And this WrestleMania code, I'm going to talk about this more at the end, but this WrestleMania code looks like trash. So in this match, I have no really interest in seeing all that much. Who could win, I don't even know. If I'm thinking about somebody that should win, I'm thinking maybe Natalya. And here's why. I've been thinking about this. Natalya is somebody that's put up with a lot of shit. when it comes to, her career. She hasn't held a title since 2011 when she was the Divas champion. Um, she literally had like the work. She was literally has had probably been shadowed with a lot of shit. I believe she had the folding gimmick in 2012. Then then she was paired up with Hornswoggle and the Great Khali. She was literally doing nothing for a while. They had to pretty much get embarrassed on Total Divas by having to piss herself and having Paige do sexual things to her. It was weird. You know, they pretty much never used her on television. They never used her properly. And then eventually, she's finally now starting to build up some steam again. You may never have this opportunity. And, throw Natalya a bone for once. Natalya has been somebody that has pretty much stuck it through this company. It's pretty much the similar situation with Zack Ryder. But then you have other people that can win. You could have Becky Lynch win, get a big WrestleMania moment by winning back the SmackDown Women's title after chasing for it. But then where do you go with Becky Lynch? You could have Alexa Bliss just retain the title, which would actually be fine. Mickie James really doesn't have a lot of reason to win this matchup. You could give it to her as like a final thank you, but there's really no reason for Mickie James to win this matchup. If Naomi were to come back, you could have Naomi win, and have her win the SmackDown Women's title in her hometown, which is what should have happened. What should have happened. You could really piss the fans off, and I actually would be pissed off by kind of laughing by having Eva Marie win this fucking match. And can you imagine like the WrestleMania crowd booing it if Eva Marie won this fucking match? That'd be classic. I'd be kind of like booing, but I'd be like laughing at the same time. You could have Tamina come back and win, but then what's the point? You could have Carmella win, but no. Please don't do that. You could have Nikki Bella come back and win and have it be a final match, but that's probably not going to happen because she's going in that mixed tag match. So if the people I want to either see win is probably like Alexa Bliss or Natalya or Becky Lynch. That's just kind of my feeling about this. But then we had the tag match itself. It was Becky Lynch and Natalya versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, and pretty much the entire match was the heels getting the heat on Becky Lynch, and eventually Becky Lynch starts to make a comeback, but then eventually Natalya hits a German suplex on Becky Lynch, and Mickie James was surprised about this. But afterwards, Alexa Bliss tags herself in, gets the pin on Becky for the win, and Mickie James looks surprised and pissed off that Becky Lynch did this. So afterwards, she hits a mid kick on Alexa Bliss, lays her out. But she's still a heel because she's like, I should have done that a long time ago. So I kind of like what they did here. They built up tension between Natalya and Becky Lynch, and then they built up tension with Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch by having Becky Lynch turn on her, and it makes it look like it's truly every woman for himself. But still, it just kind of feels like it just smudge. It's just, it's a mess of women just fighting for the title. Like, why did you need to do this? If you didn't have Naomi win the title and wasn't injured, you could have had Naomi just win the title in her fucking hometown. You could have done a triple threat with Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Becky Lynch. It just seems like this SmackDown Women's title match is going to be a schmoz. But then we had the Austin Aries backstage, and he says a lot of people are asking what's next for Austin Aries now that since I attacked Neville last night. Well, why don't you tune in to 205 Live at the top of the show, because you're going to find out what my state is going to be in the Cruiserweight division, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing what they do there. And then we had the main event. It was a WWE Championship No. 1 Contenders match, AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Before the match, AJ Styles cuts a promo saying that when he was the WWE Champion, he boosted SmackDown ratings up. And he says that but yet he's getting diminished for it. He's not going to be put in the role that he belongs in the main event of WrestleMania, but yet you have somebody like Randy Orton who burns down the Wyatt family compound, and yet he's being awarded with a title shot at WrestleMania, which makes sense that he would say that because, yeah, he burned down somebody's house and he's being awarded with a title shot. But he says that tonight he's going to beat Randy Orton and take his place at WrestleMania. I thought he cut actually a really good promo. And then we had the match itself. I actually thought this match was actually really good. I think, though, if they had it like on a big pay-per-view, this match would be fantastic. But still, this match was really good. They both started chain wrestling each other. Randy Orton pretty much dominates the first half of the matchup. And he beats the crap out of AJ Styles. He hits a wicked clothesline on him. He hits a T-bone suplex on him. AJ Styles at one point kicked Orton right in the back of the shin, and he ended up actually limping for a while. Randy Orton hits a back suplex into the barricade, and eventually AJ Styles starts working on the injured leg of Randy Orton, starts really targeting the injured leg, and he dominates Randy Orton for a while. Randy Orton starts to make a comeback. He hits a suplex into the ropes. He hits a full Nelson slam. Styles kicks out. He goes for the superplex. Styles pushes him face first into the turnbuckle, and he hits a Hushi Kurushi on Randy Orton. Randy Orton kicks out, and then eventually the finish. Randy Orton hits a draping DDT. Styles kicks out. The finish comes when AJ Styles goes for the phenomenal forearm, and Randy Orton acts like he's going to catch him into an RKO, but AJ Styles actually stays on the apron, which I thought was actually a 6 spot, and then eventually AJ Styles goes for the springboard 450. Orton moves out of the way, throws Styles up, and then hits an RKO on him, just like he did to Seth Rollins a few years ago at WrestleMania. And Randy Orton wins the match, and he's going to be going on now to face Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship, which I actually think makes sense. You know, obviously it's a storyline that had been building up for a while, so it makes sense to have Randy Orton win. As much as I would like to see AJ Styles, this was not the place, this was not the moment for him to be going on the main event WrestleMania, so I'm absolutely fine with that. And yeah, so that was SmackDown. Let me watch Talking Smack, and then I'll give you my overall thoughts on SmackDown. Alright, so then we had Talking Smack, and we had Renee Young and Daniel Bryan on the panel. And Talking Smack, I actually loved watching. Let me say that again. I love watching Talking Smack because it actually makes SmackDown better sometimes, because sometimes it's really fucking good. Let me talk about it. So, first, Alexa Bliss gets interviewed, and she talks about how she's feeling bittersweet about competing in her first WrestleMania because she has to be in this match she doesn't even know that she has to be in. And Daniel, she even talks about how she didn't even get to announce who her WrestleMania opponent was going to be because everybody kept interrupting her, and Daniel Bryan's trying to ask her who she was going to announce. And then Alexa Bliss says that, why does it matter? You don't want to hear about it anyways, and even if I wanted to tell you, I wouldn't tell you. And then she talks about how Mickie James and how she turned on her and how she brought Mickie James out from irrelevancy, and made people remember her again because she was worried that she was going to be forgotten about because of this woman's revolution, which I thought was really good. And she said that in this, whatever match this is going to be, she's going to be going right after Mickie James first, which I still question if it's going to be a ladder match or not. So then she talks about how when she called Daniel Bryan says, "What did you say? Did you say, hey, Mickie?" And then she said, "Hey, Mickie, looking so fine." She says that old song from 1985, which I thought was hilarious. I have a feeling Alexa Bliss had to have been laughing about it when she got off the panel. And then afterwards, she gets off the panel, and I actually thought this was good. Alexa Bliss killed it out there. Alexa Bliss was on her game on this on SmackDown. And then Apollo Crews gets interviewed, and you know, Apollo Crews, he must be taking something that can magically heal himself really fast, right? Because Dolph Ziggler crushes his leg with a steel chair at Elimination Chamber, and he comes back I don't know, maybe a week later, not on crutches or nothing. He's actually still not even on crutches, so that's great. And then last week, he had his throat pretty much crushed by a steel chair, literally pressed against the chair. He's back. He's able to talk all fine. He's not coughing up blood. You know, he's able to talk just perfect. He acted like nothing happened. They don't even reference the match. It just was, yeah. So Apollo Crews, whatever you take it, man, let me have some of that, because then I'll go get my legs crushed by a steel chair. In fact, I'll go jump off the Empire State Building. But anyhow, you see what I'm getting at. It's dumb. But anyhow, he announces that he's going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. because he feels like it's a great opportunity for him to be a part of WrestleMania, because he had debuted last year after WrestleMania, and he says that he feels like that he's been given opportunities like the match at SummerSlam, the match at the Royal Rumble, but he hasn't been winning, and this is his chance to really shine, because Renee Young talks about how this, just like Baron Corbin, could launch him into superstardom. Which Renee Young, you must not know your history, because you know that anyone that wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal doesn't go anywhere. Baron Corbin's is probably the best example of someone that's gone somewhere, but someone that's gone nowhere. Look at fucking Cesaro, fucking wins the thing, and then he's fucking a loser, and he's pretty much back in a fucking tag team the next year. So, Renee Young, do your fucking research on this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And then they really didn't talk about much, but Apollo Crews was kind of an unnecessary guest. And then we got the real reason to watch this Talking Smack. We had the Miz and Maurice interview, and this was fucking fantastic. And the Miz just goes off on John Cena, talks about how John Cena pretty much was the one making matches, because he had made that mixed tag team match between James Ellsworth and Carmella when Daniel Bryan didn't even approve the match. And then Daniel Bryan talked about how John Cena proposed the match. He's like, he didn't propose it. He just said this match is going to happen. I bet he sent you a text, and then he's like, okay, I'll see you guys later tonight. And he talked about how James Ellsworth didn't even want the match. And he just pretty much goes off on John Cena. Talks about how he's in company with the higher ups. Talking about how he fakes his relationship with Nikki Bella. He even talks about how John Cena even asked to be drafted number 5, because he knows if he gets drafted number 1, he'd have to show up, and but he has to go. But he wasn't going to be on the show for 6 months. He's off being a part-time, and that drives the Miz crazy. And he talks about how John Cena's with the WWE higher ups, and then Daniel Bryan kind of retaliates, saying that he's the one that's with the WWE higher ups because he does the medias and everything. John Cena, when he was first in the company, he was very close to being fired. And then the Miz talks about how that's not true. He's here because he loves to be here. He could be out doing acting or something. And then the Miz says that you can't wrestle because of your head hurt. And then Daniel Bryan then says, I can't wrestle, or they won't let me wrestle. Why don't you wait a year? So that's maybe a question is what's going to happen next year when Daniel Bryan's contract's coming up. He's obviously because he's probably going to go try to wrestle somewhere. And then they go off on Cena's relationship. They talk about how John Cena's and Nikki Bella's relationship's fake, because John Cena, after Total Bellas and Total Divas, had to go take 1, take 2. He refers to John Cena as a robot. Maurice says that John Cena's never going to have a wedding ring. And it was just really fucking good. And then, afterwards, the Miz even talked about how at first when during Maurice, while she was the longest reigning Divas champion, Nikki Bella was running around with guest hosts doing nothing. And then when she got stated John Cena, she becomes the longest reigning Divas champion in WWE history. And then they get off the panel, and it was really fucking good. This was awesome. I thought Talking Smack kicked ass this week. It was fucking fantastic. And I even forgot to mention a couple of things about Talking Smack. Is AJ Styles. He had went backstage, and after his match with Randy Orton, he goes off on Shane McMahon. The production with Michael P.S. Hayes, Road Dogg, Michael Cole, and he's just going off on Shane McMahon, saying, "That's what you call opportunities, huh?" And he's just pissed that he lost, and Road Dogg has to break him up, and it was pretty good. It's just I don't really like where it's going. And Daniel Bryan even opens up, talks about the story about how him and Triple H got into it after a match with Randy Orton, where he got injured, and him and Daniel Bryan and Road Dogg had to break up him and Daniel Bryan. And I actually like that he talked about that story, and I thought it was really good. So yeah, I thought that part was good. I just don't really like where it's going. So overall, I actually thought that Smackdown was an average show. Just really not a lot of good things to really get excited about. The opening promo segment was a waste of time. The mixed tag team match was a squash. The Dean Ambrose Baron Corbin stuff was pretty good. The Blisteration was pretty good. But then the mixed tag team, the women's tag team match really wasn't anything special. AJ Styles and Randy Orton had a really good match. And Talking Smack was really good. And the Mojo Rawley segment was average. So I just personally thought SmackDown was an average show. It really wasn't anything special. The beginning was a very slow beginning. It definitely picked up towards the end, but I just thought Talking Smack really wasn't. I just thought SmackDown was an average show. The only thing you really needed to see, I'd say, was probably the AJ Styles Randy Orton match. That's the only reason to go watch SmackDown. There's really nothing else to watch SmackDown for. You could really just skip all this stuff because it really didn't mean anything. So if I had to grade SmackDown, I'm going to grade it a 5 out of 10. It was just an average show. So obviously you can tell I thought Raw was better. I thought Raw just had a better overall show. I thought Raw kind of kicked ass throughout the beginning. And even though it got slow, Raw still, I thought, was a pretty entertaining show. The problem is with these shows, though, is even though these shows seem good, it's not WrestleMania still looks like it's going to be a pile of. I don't know if it's gonna suck, but I'm not really all that excited for WrestleMania. I don't like the matches we're gonna get. Like I'm looking at the card right now, so as of right now, this is the WrestleMania card. We have the WWE Championship match between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. I actually kind of like the Bray Wyatt even too. Was it on SmackDown this week, which I thought was fine. You know, kind of keep him off the show this week. That match I think is actually. I don't think it should be for the title, but I'm fine with this match. You know, it's a match that has story behind it. It's a match that has actually been built up for a while, so I'm absolutely down with this match. But I don't really like. We know Randy Orton's gonna probably end up winning this match. Let's be honest, it's gonna happen. So why bother? We have a Universal Championship match between Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Two part-timers fighting for one of the world titles. That's terrible. I don't even want to see that. I didn't want to see this match to begin with. I didn't want to see it at Survivor Series, and I don't want to see it now. And now that it's for the Universal title, And everybody's upset that now it's for the Universal Championship. Like I said, I tried to warn you guys. That if Goldberg got squashed Brock Lesnar, it wasn't gonna be sure for the long term wise. And now you guys are seeing what exactly I was talking about. We have Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens for the U.S. title. That match is actually I'm really looking forward to it, and I like that it's for the U.S. title in a sense because it elevates the U.S. title. But it shouldn't be for the U.S. title. It should really be for the Universal title. So it's dumb in that regard. And the fact that Kevin Owens, I don't really see why he wouldn't win this match. The fact that Kevin Owens might get diminished to the U.S. title is pretty pathetic. You have Kevin Owens, who was just in the main event, he was just the Universal Champion, and now he's fighting for the U.S. title. That's pretty lame. We have a triple threat match for the Raw Women's title that is a mess. Between Bayley, Charlotte Flair, and Sasha Banks. What the fuck are they doing? Like, what the fuck? Like, this match in theory looks like it's going to be good in the ring, but I don't care about this match. You have Charlotte, who they took away her pay-per-view streak. You have Bayley. This match should have been Charlotte Flair should have gone in as a one-on-one match, pay-per-view streak as the champion. This is dumb. You have a Raw Tag Team title match that looks solid. You have Gallows and Anderson defending the titles either against Enzo and Big Cass or Cesaro and Sheamus. Whoever wins their match on Raw. I expect it to be a triple threat tag team match. Actually, that match I'd actually be fine with. Enzo and Cass, if they win the titles, I'd be all cool with that. And then you have Alexa Bliss defending the SmackDown Women's title. We don't even know what the match is. It's all available SmackDown Women's competitors. This match is going to be a smodge. It's probably going to be one big clusterfuck. If they do the ladder match for the title, fine, but, And then we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That match, I'm going to kind of wait and see how that plays out. You have some wrestlers in there that I care about. Mojo Rawley, not so much. Apollo Crews, okay, but he really hasn't been doing anything. It looks like Dolph Ziggler's going to go in this match, and if Dolph Ziggler goes in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, that's just fucking stupid. Dolph Ziggler pretty much had a big storyline with The Miz, and now he's fucking going into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. What looks like that's just fucking dumb. And he's not even going to win the thing, so it's a waste of time. And then other matches that are going to get added. Undertaker, Roman Reigns. So I talked about it. I'm gonna wait and see with this match. I originally didn't want to see it, but if Roman Reigns turns heel coming out of it, then I'll be down with this match. Because if he doesn't, then why are they doing this match? It's a waste of time. In all reality, they should have done Undertaker John Cena for the WWE Championship. That match would have drew some fucking money. This was the year to finally do Undertaker John Cena. It was in John Cena's home state, pretty much. He lives in Florida. It's, Undertaker John Cena WWE Championship. Why didn't they do that fucking match? That match would have drew so much money. It's a huge. John Cena's fucking huge right now when it comes to celebrity. The match would have easily got plugged. Everybody knows the fucking Undertaker. You had a perfect chance to do John Cena Undertaker WWE Championship. Instead, John Cena's fucking being in this fucking lame ass mixed tag match. It looks like with him and Nikki Bella versus the Miz and Maurice. Fuck that match. We have a Smackdown tag title match between American Alpha and the Usos, which I'm interested in, but the past 2 fucking weeks, Usos and American Alpha, I don't even think I've been on the fucking show. The fuck? We have a, what else do we have? The Cruiserweight title match could be interesting if it's between Austin Aries and Neville. I'm pretty interested in that, actually, which is pretty sad that one of the matches I'm looking forward to is Aries versus Neville. We're going to get Big Show versus Shaq, which I guess is fine. Going to get some publicity out of it, but why? Shaq's, again, taking another spot that could be used for another superstar. It doesn't even look like we're going to even get that match now. I've been hearing that they don't want to do that match, so it's like, what the fuck? And then what else do we have that could possibly be on this show? It's probably going to be Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin IC title. That match I'm actually kind of somewhat interested in. What the fuck else match we going to get? Like, this WrestleMania does not looking good. I'm sorry, it's just not. So this just kind of makes me rate SmackDown a little lower because I don't like the direction WWE's going with WrestleMania. I mean, the main event of WrestleMania, if you really think about it, probably should be Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. That's the match that, besides Owens and Jericho, has the most story going into it. That's the match that feels like a main event right now. But you could do Undertaker, Roman Reigns in the main event. This is why this was the year that they should have done Undertaker, John Cena. They had that classic matchup. Oh, and I forgot one match. AJ Styles, Shane McMahon. AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. AJ Styles, who was the fucking WWE champion, fucking had matches of the year. He fucking beats John Cena clean. He was the WWE champion went up to the Royal Rumble. Is fucking fighting Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Shane McMahon's still a pretty big opponent, but why? If anybody should be fighting Shane McMahon at WrestleMania, it should be the fucking Miz. I mean, where the fuck did this come from? AJ Styles. The Miz makes the most sense out of anybody to be fighting Shane McMahon because he's the one that's feel like his opportunities have been blown. If you want to throw AJ Styles in there with someone, you could have thrown him in against fucking Cena, have a blow-off match, and have him beat John Cena on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. Yes, we've seen that match so many times, but WrestleMania, you do the blow-off match. Because now AJ Styles lost to Cena, lost the whole feud, it's just fucking nothing now. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, let's be honest, I'm going to wait and see how that match goes, but that match is just going to be a waste of time. That match could be entertaining, but it could not be. What the fuck? WrestleMania looks like crap. This should not have happened. WrestleMania had so much promise, and now they've ruined WrestleMania. I actually was looking forward to WrestleMania this year, and I could give a fuck. This WrestleMania looks, oh my gosh. Oh. We're gonna get some bumpy roads going into the road to WrestleMania. We're going to get some bumpy Raws. We're going to get some bumpy Smackdowns. It's just looking very bad, I think. They had, this is the best, this, I can't believe this is going to be the WrestleMania code. John Cena is in the piss break of WrestleMania. John Felix Anthony Cena. That's a problem. Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. What the fuck are they gonna do with Samoa Joe? like this WrestleMania is looking. I could give a fuck about WrestleMania. It's looking fucking terrible. I wouldn't be shocked if I came down if WrestleMania ended up sucking dick. The only matches that are worth a damn is going to be that IC title match, maybe the Cruiserweight title match, U.S. title match, and WWE Championship match. But then again, I'll come on and crap about the WWE Championship match because it's going to be Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. WrestleMania is going to suck. And I'm not looking forward to WrestleMania. I'm actually dreading WrestleMania because it just looks like it's going to suck. AJ Styles and Shane McMahon may deliver the show. But it's like, why? What's the point? What does AJ Styles get out of this match with Shane McMahon? But anyhow, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Thank you guys for watching this video. But like I said, I thought Raw was better this week. So I believe, actually no, it's not the second. So Raw's been so SmackDown's taking the lead in this thing as a whole, but Raw's actually had some better has had some better products. So we're gonna have to wait and see, I guess, what happens next week. WWE has, so what is it? WWE has 3 weeks to hype me up to watch WrestleMania. Can they do it? Probably not. But we're going to have to wait and see.